Simply Southern is produced by the Alabama Farmers Federation and made possible with the support of Alabama Farmers Cooperative.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
Hello and welcome to Simply Southern. I'm Mary Wilson.
And I'm Kevin Worthington. Today we're setting the woods on fire. No, really. Why would we intentionally burn the woods? Well, that answer is a little later in today's show.
If you can't make it to Africa for a safari, don't worry. Just visit Hope Hole right outside Montgomery. There you can get up close and personal with animals from around the world at Alabama Safari Park.
Okay, raise your hand if you know what a waffle witch is. Yeah, I didn't know either. But now it's one of my favorite Stacy Little recipes. The southernbite.com chef will show you how to make them a little bit later.
But to get us started today, woodworking is, well, hard work. It often takes a lot of elbow grease to transform a piece of wood into a useful piece of kitchenware or furniture.
But there's something so satisfying about it, from the smell of sawdust in the shop to putting that last coat of finish on it to make the piece glisten.
I think you're onto something there, Kevin, and that's the appeal that has brought hundreds of people to Longleaf Wood Shop, where they're learning the craft of carpentry.
We call it sneaking up on it in woodworking.
With his easygoing demeanor and gregarious personality, it's hard to believe Neil Thompson was once an agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration. Since retiring, he's made his part-time hobby of woodworking into a full-time business with Longleaf Wood Shop, which he co-owns with his wife, Sylvia. While Neil creates custom pieces and sells cut lumber, he also shares his wood shop with others. For one, he offers a membership for folks who want to work with wood, but either don't have the space or tools necessary.
I always had a longing to build a place like this shop, because a lot of times when I was building furniture in my garage, I got frustrated because of the tools I used weren't the best quality, and I wanted a place where other people could come and use, real high quality tools in a good, safe environment.
But it's the special events that have brought more than 1,200 people through the doors in just a little over a year's time. Today, we're joining the Alabama Farmers Federation State Young Farmers Committee for a team building event.
This is our first meeting of the year for the State Young Farmers Committee for this specific committee. And so it was a really good opportunity to kind of get together and work together and have a good time.
Before the sawdust flies, it's dinner time, featuring some mighty fine homemade groceries. Once the plates are cleaned, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get to work. Today, the young farmers are making cutting boards. But this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of operation. Each person chooses their own blank from a variety of wood types and sizes. And they get to pick their own design, using either a template or drawing freehand.
Coming into this, I kind of expected we were all going to make the same thing and it was going to be very structured, but I think that was my favorite part, that we got to have the freedom to make it our own thing and didn't even have to make it a specific size.
Apart from team building events, Longleaf hosts regular date nights where couples can work on a project together. Plus, aspiring woodworkers can take classes.
We get pictures all the time. When they go into the Woodshop 101 class, They'll go home and stain their bench or whatever, their sofa table, and then they send me pictures. Man, that's the best thing in the world for us. There's a lot of people that take that class that are starting to build up their wood shop at home. And the class lets them really have an understanding of what tools they may want, what tools they don't want to spend money on.
Of all the things Neil has built, he takes special pride in building people's confidence and making them feel comfortable enough to take on new challenges in the wood shop.
I think it's in everybody to be creative. The first verb attributed to God is in the beginning, God created. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's metalworking, woodworking, pottery, whatever, painting, just create something.
Longleaf Wood Shop is located between Montgomery and Wetumpka. And you know, Wetumpka was chosen to be featured on HGTV's show Hometown.
It was, and woodworking's a big part of what co-host Ben Napier does on that show. So while they were shooting on location in Wetumpka, the Napiers made a couple visits to Longleaf.
I mean, the timing was pretty cool. Neil opened up his shop in December of 2019, and just a few months later, Wetumpka was announced as the Hometown Takeover winner.
Pretty lucky.
Now, did you know the same car you use to go get groceries or go to Little League games can also take you on a wildlife expedition? Up next, we're going on a southern safari.
When you have kids staying in your house, childproofing your home is a must. Avoiding household injuries can be easier than you think. For example, products like outlet covers help protect children from the dangers of electricity. Anchoring furniture, TVs, and oven ranges to drywall can also prevent injuries. Remember, safe homes equals safer kids. Visit alphainsurance.com for even more tips on how to make sure your child is safe in your home. These Alpha Insights are proudly presented by Alpha Insurance.
Wear long pants, long sleeve shirts, and closed-toed shoes. Don't be ticked. Use repellents with 20% DEET on skin and 0.5% permethrin on gear and clothing. Don't be ticked. Avoid sitting on rotten logs or stumps. Don't be ticked. Protect yourself from serious tick-borne illnesses and seek timely treatment to prevent long-term problems. No hunters were angered in the making of this film.
Soybeans is a very versatile product. We make crayons out of it.
A lot of the combines you see rolling through the fields have a lot of plastic side panels that are made from a soy product.
The soybeans that we grow on our farm mostly goes into chicken feed.
Soybean production in Alabama employs over 10,000 people.
We grow some of the best soybeans in the world.
We go the extra mile to make sure when our name is stamped on it, we know it's the best product we can produce.
You won't find many things more sacred than family recipes. It's part of our history, described as a pinch of this or a dash of that. Well, I come from a long line of folks who fry chicken by feel and make biscuits from memory, showing how much they love you with grease and flour. Well, Alpha cares like that too, making sure your insurance recipe is just right.
Sean! Get a quote or find a local agent at alphainsurance.com.
That's good.
Helen Keller is one of Alabama's most famous daughters. Her story of courage in overcoming a childhood loss of hearing and sight has inspired countless people, and the tales of her life remain enshrined at her birthplace and childhood home in Tuscumbia. Built in 1820, just 1 year after Alabama became a state, Ivy Green was named for the prolific amount of ivy that once grew on the estate. The rooms of the house and grounds have been carefully maintained to reflect the period Helen Keller lived here. Visitors to Ivy Green enjoy seeing the fountain where Anne Sullivan first opened a young Helen's eyes to the world of language. Every summer, this story is brought to life on the grounds of Ivy Green with a performance of The Miracle Worker. Helen Keller's lasting influence as an advocate, author, and political activist still resonates worldwide, making Ivy Green an international destination and a must-see Alabama sidetrack.